Welcome to My Expat Stories. Can you love someone completely and still realise you made the wrong choice? That's not a question Darren thought he'd be asking at 64. That's not where retirement was supposed to go. Retirement was supposed to be simple. Sell the house, travel, come home. But somewhere between selling and coming home he had a daughter, and now home is a place he can't reach, and Cebu is a place he can't afford. And the woman he loves won't budge, and the baby who's made everything worth it has also made everything impossible. If you've ever built something beautiful that became a cage, this one's going to hurt. Hit the subscribe and like and let's get into it. Here's Darren. I'm Darren, 64. Bristol born, builder my whole working life. Started at 16, apprentice, then qualified, then running my own small firm. 48 years of it. Scaffolding, renovations, loft conversions. The work that keeps a city standing. My hands are thick from it. Calloused. Scarred in places where tools slipped or materials bit. My knees complain when I stand too fast. My back reminds me I carried too much too often. That's what 48 years does. I was married. Diane. 36 years, no kids. We tried early on. Medical reasons on both sides. We accepted it. Built a life anyway. Good life. House in Bedminster. Terraced 3 bedrooms. Bought it in 1989 for £42,000. Sold it 18 months back for £320,000. Mortgage paid off. £280,000 clear. That number matters. Remember it. Diane died 4 years back. Cancer, liver, fast. 6 months from diagnosis to funeral. I was 60, she was 58. The house felt wrong after she died. Every room had her in it. The kitchen where she'd make Sunday roasts. The living room where she'd fall asleep during whatever detective show was on. The bedroom where I slept on my side for 2 years after she died because her side felt sacred somehow. I retired at 62, sold the firm to my foreman, kept working small jobs for 18 months just to have somewhere to go. Then I stopped that too, sat in the house, alone, 63 years old with a paid-off mortgage, and nothing to do and nobody to do it with. My daughter from Diane's first marriage. She's not technically mine, but I raised her from 8. She said I needed to do something. Dad, you're sitting in that house waiting to die. Go somewhere, do something. You've got money, you've got time. Use them. So I did. I sold the house. $320,000. Minus estate agent. Minus legal fees. Minus clearing out 40 years of accumulated life. £280,000 landed in my account. More money than I'd ever had at once. My plan was simple. Spend 2 years travelling Asia. Maybe 3. Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia. Places I'd always been curious about but never had time for. Then come home. Buy a small flat somewhere in Bristol. 60, 70,000 for something modest. Live off the remaining 200,000 plus my state pension. 18,000 a year pension. More than enough for a single man in a small flat. Simple plan. Good plan. Retirement plan. I flew to Manila. February. The heat swallowed me at the airport. Thick heat. Wet heat. The kind that makes your shirt cling within minutes. I took a bus to Cebu. Cheaper than flying. 10 hours on a bus with broken air conditioning and roads that felt like they'd been bombed. But I didn't mind. This was adventure. This was living. I rented a small apartment in La Hague. Month to month. 8,000 pesos. £110 a month. Basic. Concrete walls. Tile floor. Single bed. Small kitchen. Fan overhead that turned slowly and accomplished little, but the window looked out at mango trees and the constant movement of a neighbourhood. Kids playing, vendors calling, jeepneys rumbling past, life happening. I started exploring, walking Cebu, learning the layout, the markets, the malls, the beaches nearby. I'm not a drinker, never have been, so the bar scene didn't interest me. I just walked, watched, learned, ate street food from vendors, pancit, lumpia, fish balls from carts, everything tasting better than it should. 3 weeks in, I was at Ayala Mall, big shopping centre, air-conditioned. I'd go there sometimes just to escape the heat, sit with a coffee, watch people. And I saw her, Sofia, working at a clothing store, folding shirts. Her name badge said Sofia, sales associate. She looked up when I walked past, smiled. One of those automatic retail smiles. "Good afternoon, sir." I nodded, kept walking. But I thought about that smile for 2 hours. Not because it was special, but because it was warm. And I hadn't been smiled at warmly in a long time. Not since Diane died. Not the kind of smile that sees you as a person, not an obstacle or a customer. I went back the next day, browsed the same store. She remembered me. You were here yesterday. I was. Just looking. Are you shopping for someone? Or yourself? Just myself. Just passing time. Passing time in a shopping mall is sad. You should pass time somewhere better. Like where? The boardwalk. Magellan's Cross. Fort San Pedro. You're a tourist. You should see tourist things. I've seen them. Now I'm just living. She tilted her head, looked at me differently. Not as a customer, as something else. You're living in Cebu? For now. Travelling, seeing Asia. Alone? Alone. She nodded. Understood. That's brave or lonely. Hard to tell which. Both probably. She laughed. Covered her mouth when she laughed. Brief. Genuine. Her name badge said Sofia. I asked her name anyway. Like the badge didn't exist. She told me. Sofia. 38. From Mindanao originally. Lived in Cebu 6 years. Single mother. 8-year-old daughter named Lily, who lived with Sofia's mother while Sofia worked. We talked for 20 minutes, until her supervisor gave her a look and she had to go back to folding shirts. I left, came back the next day. Same time she was there, we talked again, then again, then again. A week of brief conversations in a clothing store. Then she said, "You keep coming here, are you shopping or are you visiting me?" "Visiting you." "Then take me to coffee." Properly. Not standing in a shop. We went to coffee. Small cafe near the mall. The place smelled like roasted beans and sugar, and the underlying smell of Cebu, exhaust and salt air, and cooking oil from 1,000 small restaurants. We sat near the window. The traffic outside never stopped. Jeepneys, motorcycles, cars, constant movement, constant noise. We had to lean close to hear each other. She told me about her daughter, Lily, 8 years old. Father left when she was pregnant. Hasn't heard from him since. She sends money home to her mother in Cagayan de Oro, 4,000 pesos a month. Her mother raises Lily while Sofia works. It's the only way. I told her about Diane, about 48 years as a builder, about selling the house, about travelling, about not knowing what comes next. She looked at me carefully. You sold your house to travel and then buy a smaller place when I go home. When will you go home? 2 years, maybe 3, then back to Bristol. She nodded, sipped her coffee. 2 years is a long time. A lot can happen in 2 years. And she was right. A lot did happen. But I didn't know that then. I just knew I liked talking to her, liked her directness, liked the way she treated me like a person, not a wallet. Because I was very aware of what I might look like. 63-year-old white man, travelling alone, talking to a 38-year-old Filipina. I'd seen the expats in the malls, the ones with girls young enough to be their granddaughters, the ones buying jewellery and paying rent and keeping someone. That wasn't me. That wasn't what I wanted. Sofia and I kept meeting. Coffee, walks, dinners. She always paid her share. Always. When I tried to cover the bill, she'd put her money down first. I don't need you to pay for me. I asked you to coffee. I pay my part. She was different from any woman I'd met. Direct where Diane had been subtle. Practical where Diane had been emotional. Not better or worse, just different. And after 2 months of coffee and walks and dinners, I realised I was falling for her. At 63. In Cebu. For a woman 25 years younger. And I didn't know if that was beautiful or absurd. I asked her one evening. We were walking along the boardwalk. The sun was setting. Orange and pink bleeding into the sea. The smell of grilled fish from nearby vendors mixed with salt air, and the faint sewage smell that never quite leaves coastal Philippines. The humidity made my shirt stick to my back, but Sofia looked cool, unbothered, like heat was something she'd made peace with long ago. Sofia, this, us, what is this? She stopped walking, looked at me. What do you want it to be? I don't know, but I'm leaving eventually. In 2 years. And I don't want to hurt you. Who says you'll hurt me? Maybe I'll hurt you. Maybe we'll hurt each other. Maybe we'll be fine. I'm not thinking 2 years ahead, Darren. I'm thinking about now. Are you happy now? I am. Then that's enough. And I believed her. I believed her that now was enough. That we didn't need to plan beyond now. that 2 years was far enough away to be irrelevant. 6 months in, we married. Registry office in Cebu City. Small ceremony. Sofia's mother came down from Cagayan de Oro. Brought Lily. Sweet kid. Shy, 8 years old with her mother's eyes and a smile that came slow but stayed. My daughter from Bristol sent a video message. Didn't come. Said she supported me but couldn't afford the flight. I understood. Or I told myself I understood. The registry office smelled like old paper and floor wax. The fan overhead squeaked with each rotation. Sofia wore a simple white dress. Department store. Nothing expensive. I wore a barong, white embroidered shirt. Filipino wedding tradition. We said our vows in front of 10 people. Sofia's mother. Lily. 3 of Sofia's friends from work. 3 of my new drinking buddies. Not drinking buddies because I don't drink, but the retired expats I'd met who played chess at the park on Thursdays. Witnesses. That's all a registry wedding needs. We were married. Sofia became Sofia Garrett. She kept her job. I kept my apartment. We didn't live together yet. She stayed in her boarding house. I stayed in La Hug. But we spent every evening together. Every night she wasn't working, we'd have dinner. Walk. Talk. Build something. Month 8 of marriage. Sofia was late. Her period. She told me over dinner at a small carinderia near her work. The kind of place with plastic chairs and fluorescent lights and food in metal trays behind glass. We were eating Bicol Express. Spicy. My forehead was sweating from the chilies, and she said it quietly. I'm late. 4 days. Late. My period. I'm never late. I'm always exact. 4 days late means something. We bought a test that night. Took it in her boarding house bathroom. Shared bathroom at the end of the hall. Cracked tiles. Fluorescent light that buzzed. The smell of bleach and mildew. We waited 3 minutes. The 2 lines appeared. Clear. Definite. Pregnant. I sat on her bed. Single bed. Thin mattress. A fan turned in the corner. The same clicking fan sound as my apartment. As every apartment in Cebu. Click. Whir. Click. Whir. Are you okay? She asked. I'm 63. I'm going to be a father at 63. Are you happy about that? I never had kids. With Diane. We couldn't. And I thought that door was closed. I'm 63 years old and that door just opened again. Yes, I'm happy. I'm terrified, but I'm happy. She cried. Relief crying. I thought you'd be angry. I thought you'd think I did this on purpose. Did you? No, but I'm not sad it happened. Are you? No, I'm not sad at all. We moved in together, got a bigger place. Still a hug. 2-bedroom. More than double what I'd been paying, but we needed space. For the baby. For us. For being a family. Sofia stopped working at month 5. Her pregnancy was hard. Morning sickness that lasted all day. Exhaustion. Swollen feet. I took care of her. Took care of everything. Groceries, cooking, cleaning. Doctor appointments. Private clinic. Not public. Private care costs money. But public care in the Philippines is a lottery. I wasn't gambling with my baby's health. The prenatal appointments cost 3,000 pesos each. £40. Every month, then every 2 weeks. Then every week toward the end. The doctor was professional. Clean clinic, air-conditioned. The ultrasound machine was old but worked. We saw our daughter moving. Fingers, toes, heartbeat. Perfect heartbeat. She was born in June. Private hospital. Good hospital. Private room. The delivery cost 60,000 pesos. £820. I paid cash. I held her 10 minutes after she was born. Tiny. £6. Dark hair. Sofia's nose. My daughter. At 64 years old. My daughter. We named her Rose. After my mother who died when I was 12. Sofia liked the name. Said it was beautiful in both English and Tagalog. Rosas. We registered her birth. British citizen by descent. My daughter. UK citizen. Filipino born, but British. That detail matters later. The first few months were chaos, beautiful chaos. Rose crying every 3 hours. Sofia exhausted from breastfeeding. Me learning how to change nappies at 64, how to warm bottles, how to function on 4 hours of sleep. We hired a yaya, helper, girl from the province, 20 years old. Sweet. Helped with Rose during the day so Sofia could sleep. The yaya cost 5,000 pesos a month. £70 plus food plus room. She slept in the second bedroom with Rose's crib. The money started moving faster. Rent, food, nappies. Formula when Sofia's milk wasn't enough. Doctor appointments when Rose had a cough. When she had a fever. When Sofia worried. The Yaya's salary. Electricity bill that doubled with air conditioning running for Rose's room. Water bill. Internet. Everything cost more with a baby. Everything cost more than I'd planned. But I didn't care, because I had a daughter. At 64. I had a family. Something I'd thought was impossible. The money was just money. It would last. I had £280,000. That was 20 years of living at $14,000 a year. More than my pension. I was fine. We were fine. Except I wasn't doing the math right. Because I wasn't accounting for everything. Wasn't accounting for private school when Rose got older. Wasn't accounting for medical inflation. Wasn't accounting for exchange rates shifting. Wasn't accounting for the fact that £18,000 pension doesn't cover a family of 3 in Cebu the way it covers a single man in a Bristol flat. Rose turned 1. We had a small party. Sofia's mother came down, brought Lily, who was 9 now, tall, starting to look like a teenager, Sofia's friends from work, my chess buddies, the expats who'd become friends by default of being the only other English speakers at the park. We sang Happy Birthday in English and Tagalog. Rose smashed her cake. Chocolate. Everywhere. Her face. Her hands. Her hair. Sofia cried. Happy crying. Said she never thought she'd have this. Family. Celebration. Stability. That night after everyone left and Rose was asleep and the Yaya had cleaned up, Sofia and I sat on the small balcony. The air was warm. Humid. The street below never went silent. Jeepneys, motorcycles, dogs barking. The city breathing. Darren, we need to talk about the future. Okay. Rose is a year old. Soon she'll need school. Preschool. Then primary, then secondary. I want her to go to good schools. Private schools. International school, maybe. Where she'll learn English and Tagalog and have opportunities. That's fine, we'll figure it out. International school is expensive. 40,000 pesos a term. 3 terms a year. That's 120,000 pesos a year. About £1,600. Can we afford that? I did the math in my head. £1,600 a year for school. Plus rent, plus food, plus everything else. My pension was £18,000 a year. School alone was nearly 10% of that. Before anything else. But I'd planned for this. I had the house money. 280,000. We'd been using it, living off it. But it was there, a cushion. We can afford it. Don't worry. Okay? And there's something else. What? My mother's getting old, she's 62. Still raising Lily. I send her 4,000 pesos a month, but it's not enough. I think we need to bring her here. To live with us. Help with Rose. Be family. Lily too. Lily should be with us. With her sister. That's a lot of people in a 2-bedroom flat. We'd need a bigger place, 3 bedrooms. Maybe 4. 1 for us, 1 for Rose, 1 for my mother and Lily. 1 for the Yaya. The rent would triple. From 18,000 pesos to 50,000. From £250 a month to £680. £8,000 a year just in rent. We'll figure it out. But I could feel it. That first squeeze. That first tightness in the chest. The sense that the numbers were starting to move in directions I hadn't planned for. 2 months later, Sofia said what I'd been dreading since the day we married. When are we going back to Bristol? I looked at her. We were in the living room. Rose was on a mat on the floor. 10 months old, rolling, almost crawling. The fan turned overhead. Outside the rain was starting. Wet season. What do you mean? You said you were travelling for 2 years. Then going back to Bristol. It's been 18 months, so when are we going back? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. You need to think about it. Because I need to know. Are we staying here or are we going to UK? Which would you prefer? I'm Filipino. My mother's here, my family's here, but you're British. Rose is British. So I'll go where you go. But I need to know. And that's when I should have said it. That's when I should have been honest. That's when I should have said, Sofia, I never planned to stay. I planned to travel and go home, buy a flat in Bristol, live off my pension. But I fell in love with you and we had Rose and now I don't know what the plan is anymore. But I didn't say that. I said, let's stay here. Rose is settled. You're settled. We're building something. Let's just stay. She nodded, smiled, relieved. And I felt it. That click, that lock, the trap closing around me. Not a trap she'd set, a trap I'd built, piece by piece, decision by decision, without realising I was building it until I was already inside. Rose is 3 now. I'm 67. And I check my bank account every morning like checking a wound to see if it's healing or getting worse. It's getting worse. £280,000 is gone. Not all of it, but enough that I can see the bottom. £143,000 left. 18 months back I had 230,000. 18 months from now, I'll have maybe 80,000 if things continue this way. The math doesn't work. My pension is £18,000 a year. Living here costs £32,000. The gap is £14,000 a year. That's what I'm burning through. 14,000 of my house equity every single year. At that rate, the money runs out in 10 years. I'll be 77. And then what? Sophia doesn't see it the way I see it. When I mention the money, she says we're fine. We have savings, we have your pension, we're managing. But managing isn't the same as sustainable. Managing's slow drowning while telling yourself you're swimming. I tried talking to her about Bristol, about maybe moving back, just considering it. Rose is British. She could grow up there, free healthcare, better schools than we can afford here, a future that doesn't depend on my finite savings. Sophia's face went hard. You want to take Rose away from my mother? From her grandmother? From Filipino culture? No, I just want us to have a stable future. Stable? What's unstable about here? We have a home, we have family. Rose has her grandmother, her yaya, her cousins. You want to take her to a country where it's cold and grey and we know nobody? We'd know my daughter, my friends. We'd build a life. You'd build a life. I'd be alone. My mother would be alone. Rose would grow up not knowing her own culture. No, I won't do it. We're staying here. The conversation ended, like all conversations about Bristol end, with Sophia refusing, with me backing down because what choice do I have? Leave and lose Rose. Leave and become the absent father who chose England over his daughter. I can't do it. I won't do it. So I stay. And the money burns. School fees, medical costs, rent that keeps rising, the peso fluctuating against the pound, making everything cost more or less, depending on which way the wind blows, food that costs more every month, electricity that's double what I thought it would be, air conditioning we can't live without because Rose can't sleep in the heat. My chess buddies at the park have noticed. One of them, Malcolm from Kent, said it to me straight last Thursday. Darren, you look stressed. Money trouble. A bit. Just adjusting. It's the family, isn't it? They always cost more than you think. I've got 3 kids back home. Bankrupted me. Now I'm here living on £1,200 a month because that's all my pension is after the ex-wife took her share. How do you manage? I don't have kids here. Don't have a wife here. I have a girlfriend who works and pays her own way. No dependents. That's how I manage. You've got a wife and a kid and her mother and her sister and a yaya. Mate. You're carrying 5 people on a UK pension. That's not sustainable. I know. So what are you going to do? I don't know. And I don't, because every option is impossible. Go back to Bristol without them. Lose Rose. Become the father who abandoned his 3-year-old because money got tight. I can't live with that. Stay here. Burn through everything until I'm 77 and broke and still in Cebu, with no way to survive and no backup plan. Also impossible. I'm trapped. Not by Sophia. Not by lies. Not by a scam. By love, by biology, by choices I made thinking I could make them work. I sold my house thinking I'd buy another, but I can't buy back into Bristol now. UK property prices went up. 280,000 bought me a nice house in 2022. Now it won't even buy a studio flat in a decent area. I'm stuck in Cebu burning through money in a country I never meant to stay in. Watching my retirement fund disappear into school fees and rent and medical costs. Knowing that eventually it runs out. Knowing I can't leave because leaving means losing Rose. Knowing staying means slowly going broke until I'm an old man in the Philippines with nothing left. Sophia doesn't see it as a trap. She sees it as family, as normal life, as what people do. And maybe she's right. Maybe this is just what happens when you choose love over planning. When you build a family in your 60s in a country where money doesn't stretch as far as you thought. But it feels like a trap. Feels like I'm watching the walls close while everyone else tells me the room is fine. Feels like I made one decision, stay in Cebu with Sofia, and that decision made every other decision for me. I'm Darren, 67. Bristol. Except I'm not in Bristol anymore. I'm in Cebu, with a wife who won't leave, a daughter I can't leave. £143,000 left of £280,000, but earning £14,000 a year. 10 years until it's gone. Then what? I don't know. I really don't know. This is my expat stories. Sometimes the cage you build is made of love, and that doesn't make it any less a cage.